Good morning, students. Today we will learn about the fetal skull. So, what is the fetal skull? The skull bones and cases and protect the brain. So, the main use of the fetal skull is the protection provided to the fetal brain. Okay. So, the fetal skull has three major parts. Okay. What are they? That is the vault of cranium, which is also known as a roof. Then second one is a face and third one is a base known as a cranium. So these all three are major parts of the fetal skull. Next, that is the bones of the fetal skull. So in this figure, that is a two side view and top view are described. Okay. So we can easily find out the bones and sutures of the fetal skull. So in this figure, that is, this is the side view. In that, lambdoid suture, squamous suture, and this is the mastoid frontal is present. And this is maxilla and mandible of the fetal skull in the face side. Then this is a scaphoid frontal, and this is the coronal suture. In next figure, you can easily find out that. And in top view, this is the anterior frontal and frontal bone, sagittal suture, parietal bone, posterior frontal and occipital bone. Okay. So there are mainly bones, that is a two frontal bone, which is this. Two, this and this. This is the frontal bone. Then parietal bone. So two parietal bone, one occipital bone is in fixed here and two temporal bone in front side. Okay. So these all are bones of the vault. Means first part we already discussed in first slide, that is the vault is known as a roof of fetal skull. So in the vault, this is all are a bone fixed in the vault. Okay. Next, that is view from top of the head. In that, we can find out easily the sutures and bones. So first suture is a frontal in front side, means in face side, that is situated is a frontal suture. In between, that is a diamond shape is a anterior frontal, and posterior frontal is a triangular shape. Okay, it posterior side. So this is the anterior frontal and this is the posterior frontal, which marked as a purple front. Okay, then this is a coronal suture both side into between of the anterior frontal, both side is a coronal suture. Next, that is a sagittal suture. This is the sagittal suture line and this is the lambdoid suture. Okay, so this is about the sutures in front. In previous slide we discussed about the bones of fetal skull. This is about the sutures of the fetal skull. Okay. Next, that is a difference between the anterior frontal and posterior frontal. So what is the difference between anterior frontal and posterior frontal? Anterior frontal is known as a bregma and posterior frontal known as a lambda. So anterior frontal looks into the large diamond shape, while posterior frontal looks like a small triangular shape. We already discussed that is a here. See, this is the anterior frontal, which is diamond shape, and posterior frontal in a triangular shape. So that is the main difference in between two. Then anterior frontal is situated at the junction of sagittal, coronal and frontal suture, while the posterior frontal is situated at the junction of the lambdoid. Okay. Then anterior frontal closed at the 18-month, means 1 year and 6 months, and posterior frontal closed at a 6 month and 6 to 12 months. Okay. And anterior frontal covered with a soft membrane floor, while posterior frontal covered with a bony floor. So this is all four main differences between the anterior frontal and posterior frontal. Okay. So both are important for the protection of the fetal skull. Next, that is a region of fetal skull, means a normal description of the fetal skull. So here we can easily find out this is a base. Okay, this to this arrow, this is a face part, this is a brow presentation, and this is vortex, and this is a occiput. So fetal skull are divided into four, and this is anterior suture. Okay, and this is a posterior. We already learned in previous slide. Then front bones, that is frontal bone, parietal bone, temporal bone and occipital bone. Four bones, four parts. and two frontanel, anterior and posterior, and four sutures. That is a coronal suture, okay, lambdoid suture. Two sutures are there in this figure. So these all are a region of the fetal skull. Okay. Next, that is the anterior and posterior longitudinal. 3 means we will learn about the diameter of the fetal skull. So first we will learn about the anterior diameter. In that suboccipitobregmatic. If you are clear with the part of the fetal skull, then you may easily learn the fetal diameter, okay, skull diameter. So first we will learn that is a suboccipitobregmatic. So the diameter between the suboccipitobregmatic is 9.5 centimeter and measured from below of the occiput region to the center of the anterior fontanelle or bregma. So this is the measurement of the suboccipitobregmatic, that is the subocciput bone to the bregma. So it is measurement of this distance is a 9.5 centimeter. The attitude means head is a completely flexed that part. So head is a completely flexion and presentation is a vertex. In previous figure, see, this is the occiput bone. So this groove is known as a subocciput. So from here to anterior frontanel bregma. So here subocciput to bregma. So this distance is 9.5 centimeter and this diameter is known as a suboccipitobregmatic. Okay, and the presentation is a vortex because you can find this is a vortex presentation. So presentation is vortex and attitude is a head is a completely flexion. Okay, so this is about the suboccipitobregmatic. Next, that is suboccipitofrontal. So same as from here, see, from here part to frontal means here. Okay, so there is the 0.5 centimeter increase into the suboccipitobregmatic. So suboccipitofrontal measure is a 10 centimeter and from below of the occiput region to the center of the frontal suture. So 10 centimeter. Attitude is a incomplete flexion and presentation is the same as above, that is vertex presentation. Okay. So this is second diameter, that is the suboccipitofrontal. Next, that is the occipitofrontal. So now see in figure from occiput. Now this part is leaf but occiput region. So occiput to frontal. Okay. So it is 11 centimeter. Frontal means still here. So 11 centimeter occipitofrontal. Okay. Measure from the occiput protuberance to the root of the nose means frontal part. So occiput bone to the frontal part, that is 11.5 centimeter. Attitude is a head extend. Okay, and presentation is a brow because in this presentation is a brow. Okay, then mento vertical. This is the highest diameter, that is 13.5 centimeter. Measure from the point of the chin to the highest point of the vertex, that is head. Attitude is a head and presentation is a brow. So this diameter is known as a mento vertical. I will show you in figure. See, this is the mentum means chin part. So mentum to the vertical. Okay, so this is a 13.5 centimeter. Okay, and the presentation is a brow. Okay, attitude is a head. Then submentovertical means below from the mentum, that is a submentum. So measure from the point of the chin, join into the neck to the highest point of the vertex. So this is the submentovertical, centimeter 11.5. Attitude head incompletely extend and presentation is a face. Okay. Then next submentobregmatic, that is 9.5 centimeter. Also measure from the point where the chin joined to the neck and center of the bregma. Okay. Presentation face and head is completely extended. In figure you may find easily, means this is a submentum. Okay. This is mentum part, that is chin, and this is a submentum. So till here to the bregma means highest point of the anterior frontanelle. Okay. So this is a submentobregmatic. and presentation is a face. Okay, because in frontal part it is situated. So presentation is a face and diameter is 11.5 centimeter. 9.5 centimeter, sorry, and presentation is a face. Then in this figure also you may find out the difference, that is biparietal bone. Okay, so diameter between biparietal diameter is a 9.5 and bitemporal is situated here. So between this distance is a 8.2 centimeter. So this is all about the diameter. Okay, that is a which diameter? That is a anterior posterior diameter. And now we will learn about the transverse diameter. So what are the transverse diameter? That is a biparietal and bitemporal. We already discussed. This is the biparietal diameter and this is the bitemporal. Okay, 9.5 centimeter and 8.2. So in biparietal diameter, distance between the two parietal eminence. Okay, it is very easy. Two parietal eminence it is situated. So the diameter between that part is a 9.5 centimeter and known as a biparietal. And next bitemporal 8.2 centimeter. Okay, situated between two farthest point of the coronal suture at a temples. Okay, so this is about the diameters of the fetal skull. If you find any doubt, you may notify to me. Okay, thank you.